And it sounds like that accountability doesn't extend as far as the Secretary of Defense. So I think you should resign. The mother says she wants you gone. And which U.S. service has written doctrine or standardized procurement for integration of FPV drones?
That's the Army.
I wish that were the case, but actually the answer is none of them. Mr. Secretary, many believed you were underqualified for this role. You've been Secretary for 4.5 months now. For the sake of the American people and our service members, I hope you've done your homework since. Let's talk Indo-PACOM. What year has the Navy publicly set as the benchmark for being ready to fight a war with China?
Well, it needs to be right now. We know what China has said.
I'm glad to hear that, but there is a publicly
right
set date.
Well, we know it wouldn't be
Let me help you
prudent
out.
for me in this environment to
2027.
reveal when we think we're ready. That's what China has said, and we understand what they're
Secretary,
saying.
I
We
asked
want to
for
be
a year.
capable and ready for it.
Not a filibuster. 2027 is the year. According to unclassified DoD assessments, how many warships does China have in its Navy today?
Many and growing.
370. It's the largest Navy in the world. How many does the U.S. Navy have today?
Thanks to this budget, it's increasing
It's a number. I'm looking for a
substantially,
number.
but it's just south of 300.
296, pretty close. How many ships is China expected to field by 2030?
I believe that's a classified number, but it's going to
There's
go
a
up
DoD
at a rapid rate.
CMPR report that was released. There's an unclassified number.
It's going up at a rapid rate.
Let me help you out. 435.
While these unclassified naval counts highlighted a stark shipbuilding deficit back in June 2025, the strategic math has become even tighter over the past year. As of July 2026, the Navy is grappling with severe industrial supply chain bottlenecks that have further delayed critical submarine and destroyer construction, keeping the U.S. active fleet count hovering well below China's rapidly expanding naval footprint.
Let's see if we do better in EUCOM. What corridor in eastern Poland is vulnerable and a priority for U.S. reinforcements? It connects Belarus to a Russian region.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can tell you. It's the Suwalki Gap. Which heavily militarized Russian territory connected the Suwalki Gap? It contains nuclear-capable missiles. It threatens all of NATO. It's right there in the middle of Eastern Europe.
I see we're playing a quiz game here.
It's
Ultimately,
Kaliningrad
thankfully,
Oblast.
we're getting our NATO allies to step up in their spending to make sure that they can hold the
Mr.
line.
Secretary, I asked you a specific question. Thank you. It's Kaliningrad Oblast. So what percentage of Ukrainian frontline casualties, let's talk drones, are now caused by FPV drones?
A very large percentage, and we're studying that conflict closely to understand
I hope so.
that fact.
It's over 70%. And which U.S. service has written doctrine or standardized procurement for integration of FPV drones?
That's the Army.
I wish that were the case, but actually the answer is none of them. So we're not prepared yet, and we need to get there fast.
Vindman's warnings on FPV drone warfare and force readiness prove tragic. In early 2026, a drone strike in Kuwait killed 6 U.S. service members, triggering a furious congressional investigation into why the Pentagon under Hegseth had failed to implement adequate drone defense systems and standardized troop training.
Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over Signal. I spoke to her again on Tuesday and asked her if there was anything she wanted me to bring up. She believes that you need to resign. She also had several questions, but one thing, she said she would appreciate an apology for putting classified information. Her son couldn't even tell her where the Truman was going, but into the Houthi PC small group Signal chat that risked her son's life and the mission. Mr. Secretary, yes or no, do you think you owe her an apology?
Please make sure to let her know how grateful we are for the skill and heroism of her.
I am very much grateful. I'm sure everybody in this room is grateful. I'm proud of what her son has done. The question is, do you owe her an apology for your actions? Are you going to be accountable?
It was an incredibly successful mission. Her son did great work.
They did a magnificent job.
Thankfully, the Houthi campaign was successful.
Secretary, I agree with you. Magnificent job. The performance of those pilots and Navy personnel, magnificent. We're talking about what you did and accountability. Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You don't apologize for putting her son's life in danger and for putting the mission in jeopardy. Well, that's really disappointing and not befitting the type of leadership that our troops and families deserve. It's frankly a stunning lack of OPSEC. Privates are trained to do much better than that. It was reckless. And it sounds like that accountability doesn't extend as far as the Secretary of Defense. So I think you should resign. The mother says she wants you gone. And with that,
Looking back today, in 2026, this June 2025 House Armed Services Committee hearing was not just a pop quiz on geography and fleet sizes. It was a structural warning light for the national security challenges that have since fully engulfed the Pentagon. What originally drew headlines as a fresh-faced congressman interrogating a newly confirmed Secretary of Defense has, over the past year, matured into the defining baseline of accountability for Secretary Pete Hegseth's ongoing leadership crises. Representative Eugene Vindman's rapid-fire questioning on Indo-Pacific and European readiness exposed a deep transition gap between political messaging and defense realities. By showcasing the exact gap in warship counts, 296 American vessels compared to China's 370. Vindman set a statistical anchor that continues to shape the fierce battles over the current National Defense Authorization Act. The strategic vulnerabilities highlighted here, from Poland's Suwalki Gap to the Kaliningrad Missile Enclave, have only grown more urgent as the Russia-Ukraine conflict continues to drag on, exposing the severe friction between the administration's transactional diplomacy and our Eastern European allies' immediate defense anxieties. The structural debate on FPV drone integration has also aged incredibly poorly for the Department of Defense. Vindman's 2025 revelation that over 70% of frontline Ukrainian casualties were drone-related, combined with his exposure that no U.S. military branch had established a unified FPV procurement doctrine, laid bare a systemic innovation failure. This vulnerability became a devastating reality in March 2026, when an enemy drone strike in Kuwait claimed the lives of 6 U.S. soldiers. That tragic loss galvanized a bipartisan group of lawmakers, led by Vindman, to demand an independent inspector general investigation into the Pentagon's failure to deploy effective counter-drone systems, a direct consequence of the slow acquisition bureaucracy criticized in this 2025 exchange. The climax of the hearing centered on Hegseth's use of the encrypted messaging app Signal to coordinate a Red Sea military operation, remains the most legally and ethically volatile issue of his tenure. Hegseth's defiant defense, claiming he does not apologize for success after bypassing standard secure military communication channels, has created a lasting precedent regarding executive accountability and operational security, OPSEC. In subsequent committee hearings in the spring of 2026, as conflicts in the Middle East escalated, Hegseth was repeatedly dragged back to this exact testimony, refusing to answer follow-up questions about whether his private messaging habits continued to endanger active pilot missions. Ultimately, this committee room clash represents the ongoing philosophical divide over military leadership in the modern era. On one side stands an administration emphasizing disruptive, non-traditional methods and rapid action. On the other stands a defense establishment insisting that compliance, rigorous OPSEC, and institutional readiness are the only true guarantors of success. With the nation's defense apparatus under relentless scrutiny and the memory of recent operational failures still fresh, this confrontation stands as the moment the structural cracks in Hegseth's Pentagon were first laid bare.